What's good, y'all? Tristan here, and today I'll be sharing with you the 10 strangest things about Australia. None of these things are bad, they're just things that I have found a little bit unusual, odd, just, I don't know, different about Australia. Alright, the first one is time zones, and you see this one right here is a double whammy. So, I went from Melbourne to Adelaide, and I noticed Adelaide is in South Australia right here. It's half an hour off from Melbourne. Not a full hour, half an hour. So the time zones here, as you can see, are not in full hour increments. So, I don't know, it's a little bit odd. Then more recently, I saw this TikTok that pointed out not all the states here have daylight savings time. So during daylight savings time, this is a map of the time zones of Australia. So I'm in Queensland. I go 30 minutes south of where I am right now. It's now 9 p.m. Meanwhile, it's 8:30 in South Australia. I go up to the Northern Territory at 7:30. I hop over to Western Australia and it's an hour and a half difference, but just one time zone over. Like, I don't know what's going on. It makes no sense. Number 2 is beetroot on burgers. So, I don't know what's up with this. So first of all, this could be a regional thing because I've only seen this here in Queensland, but I've seen it a lot here in Queensland. If you get a burger, it is a fairly common thing to get it with beetroot, or beetroot just like comes on it. I've never heard of beetroot being on a burger. The third strange thing about Australia is that they don't always bring your check to the table. So when you're at a restaurant, it is a very common thing whenever you're done with your meal, instead of the waiter bringing the check to you, whenever you're done, you just get up and you go to like a little checkout place and you pay there. This is how it's been at the restaurant that I worked at. This is how it's been at all the restaurants I've been to here. Granted, I haven't been to a whole lot. I do know that at like really nice fancy restaurants, yes, they'll bring the check to you at the table, but overall, like, it's a pretty common thing here in Australia to have to go up to pay for your meal. Number 4, and if you follow this channel for a while, like, you know, I have talked in so many videos all the differences about like pumping gas here in Australia. Like, it's like completely different than you do it in America. Well, here we go. Here's another difference in pumping gas that I've yet to mention in any of my other videos, and that is here in Australia, they don't have the little like lever thing to like pump gas automatically. So in the States, you can just stick the nozzle into your car, pull it, and then there's this little lever that you like, switch down and it holds the handle up so it constantly pumps gas. Then you can go inside, go to the bathroom, go buy something, I don't know, go back into your car if it's cold. Here in Australia, you have to like hold the handle down the entire time while you're getting gas. I'm trying to think if I've been to a gas station where they have the little lever that holds it down for you, and I don't think I have. Maybe once or twice, I don't know. In the comments below, let me know if there are any gas stations that do have the automatic gas pumping levers. Number 5, this is an awesome thing about Australia. Like, I love it, but like, I've been here for 9 months and I'm still not used to this, all right? And that is that cars here are so nice to pedestrians. I don't even know how to explain this. Like, I'll literally, there'll be like a crosswalk. I'll just be walking up to the crosswalk, like on my phone, like, I don't know, like not even about to cross the street. You know, I'll look for cars and I'll look up and there'll be cars stopped for me because they, like, I'm just close to the crosswalk and they know that I'm about to go. Even if there's not a crosswalk, but you're just like looking across the street, like, cars will often stop for you. And it's not like in America where, you know, like you're on the crosswalk and the car's like constantly slowly moving closer to you, like trying to like get you to hurry up so that they can go when you're done. Here in Australia, you won't even start the crosswalk yet, you'll just be close to it and the car will stop like 3 to 5 meters like away from the crosswalk. Like, they'll give you so much space. I honestly don't know why the cars are so nice here, but the only reason why I say it's like strange is because like I've been here for so long and I'm still not used to it. I'll still be walking to, like, about to cross the road and the cars will stop and I'm like, I look at them, I'm like, wait, why are you stopping? And then I'm like, oh, they're stopping for me. Like, I'm still not used to it yet. Speaking of driving here, that is my next strange thing about Australia, and that is that it takes so freaking long to get your license here in Australia. It takes 4 years of driving before you're like fully licensed here in Australia. Let me reel that back a little bit. It does vary from state to state, so there are slightly different rules. Like in Tasmania, I think you can get it quicker, but overall, like in the most populated states, it takes a long time to get your license here. So first, they have like these different like plates that you put on your car. So the first plate you get is your L plates, like your learner's plates. That's equal to like our driving permit in the States. So that's like, I don't know, like you can drive with your parents, like you're learning, like you can't drive on your own yet. You need that for like a full year. Then after that year, you move on to your P plates. So your Ps are like for your, stands for a provisional license, and there's 2 P plates. There's like your green and your red. I forget which ones you get first, but you get one for like 1 year, then you have the next one for like 2 years after that. And in that time, you have like a limited amount of points you can get on your driver's license. So I don't know, it depends like how fast you're going, like how bad the ticket is, what you do wrong. But if you get like 2 tickets, you can get your license taken away or suspended for a while. There's like a lot of like more to it than that, obviously, and it's slightly different in different states. But long story short, until you are fully licensed, it's gonna take from the time you start learning to the end is 4 years. Maybe that's why the roads are so much safer here in Australia, but I don't know. Either way, it doesn't matter. Something that I found was a little bit strange. All right, number 7. And before I say this, I wanted to say I wasn't gonna have any of like your slang, like I wasn't gonna say how y'all shorten everything. I wasn't gonna say like your words are weird, your language, like no, it's the way y'all speak here. I like it. I think it's sick. I think it's really cool. That's all good here. But there is one word that y'all use that I think is so weird. It's so bizarre. It's not only me that thinks it's weird, but it's like every single like English speaker that's not from Australia thinks this is weird, and that is thongs. These are not thongs, all right? This is a thong. Those aren't thongs. I don't want to hear anyone say that they just bought some new thongs or tell me to put my thongs on. That word is just not supposed to be used like that. So all your other lingo, absolutely love it. Like that one, I just cannot get behind. I'm sorry. That is something that is strange about Australia. Number 8, and kind of like the thongs, I wasn't gonna mention anything weird about the animals because like no shit, it's a different country, it's a different environment. Like the animals here are gonna be different. I wasn't gonna say anything about like, you know, like the snakes, the spiders, the, I don't know, kangaroos, koalas, like jellyfish. Like no, I wasn't gonna talk about the animals. However, there is one animal, one genre of animals that has totally surprised me since I've been here in Australia, and I find a couple of them incredibly strange. And that is y'all's birds. Not any birds, there are 2 birds in particular that I'd like to talk about. Before I talk about them, I want to say first of all, the birds here were probably one of my biggest animal surprises about Australia. I was not expecting to find like cockatoos like just flying around here in Australia. Like those are like birds that we have as like pets in America. Anyways, the 2 birds that I cannot get over. The first is this bird. I believe it's called the curlew. These things are so creepy. They are so scary. They are like something out of a haunted movie. They usually come out at night, come out of like dark alleys and corners, and they just stand on the road and they look so creepy. And as soon as you think you might be getting used to them, you're like, oh, like it's just a bird, you know, it's just standing there in the corner. It's not trying to hurt me. As soon as you think that, they will let out the most ear-piercing screech. I'm gonna give you 3 seconds to turn your headphones down, and then ready? 3, 2, 1. All right, listen to this. What the f is that? That is not human. That is something, like, that is straight from hell. I'm sorry, I don't know what it is, but those birds just downright creep me out. The second bird, not nearly as eerie or creepy as the first, but that is a bin chicken. What is that? I know, if you're not from Australia, that's probably exactly what you're thinking. These guys are actually very tame and normal. I think they're actually called ibis, but they're known as bin chickens here, which bin is like what they call like a trash can, so it's like you could, in American English, it's called like a trash chicken or like a trash can chicken, something like that. This is a little video I took of one of them while I was outside of McDonald's just earlier today. There's nothing really bad about them, but they just look so strange. Next up, number 9, and here we got no garbage disposals. I really don't know why this is, but yeah, it's just not really a super common thing to have a garbage disposal in your sink in Australia. Once again, it's not all houses, but I have seen a couple houses where it's like this. And then my 10th and final strange thing about Australia isn't really all too strange, but I find it super cool about Australia, and that is that 30% of Australians were actually born overseas. This is an absolutely astronomical, huge amount of citizens to be born overseas. Like the US prides itself in being like an immigrant nation. We have a ton of immigrants in the US, but even then, we only have 13.5% of our population that was born overseas. I found this actually like fascinating about Australia. I think it's one of the coolest like little fun facts about Australia that I've learned. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a big old like. I really appreciate it. If you'd like to learn some more cool fun facts about Australia, make sure you check out those videos right over there. Thank you all so much for watching, and yeah, toodle-doo, peace out. See you later, guys. Bye.